What's happening, Achievers? Ajit Sidhu here from Invincible Achievers. Today we're going to talk about the 3 stages of learning and becoming a master at anything you want to achieve. So the first stage in the whole process of doing something new or learning something new is intellectual intelligence. We need to have intellectual intelligence to be able to achieve anything. Intellectual intelligence is knowing it. You need to know what you want. You need to know how you're going to get it. It's like being a passenger in a car whilst your parents are driving. So whilst you're a passenger in the car whilst your parents are driving, you might look over, you might see them put the key in the ignition. You might see the person indicating and moving the car. However, you're not actually doing it. You're watching it. Even when you learn about it or read about situations, that's becoming intellectual intelligence. But this is where most people stop. They say, I know this, I've heard it before. You don't have to keep repeating yourself. But the truth is, we do know the information, and it's our intellectual intelligence that we have. But we don't have the second stage of learning, which is emotional intelligence. Now, emotional intelligence is when you actually sit behind the wheel and you have your instructor saying, okay, turn the key, check your mirror, indicate, put it into gear, start moving forward. This is when you get emotional intelligence, because when you're actually doing the action that you want to achieve, you've got fear, you've got excitement, you've got self-doubt, but also the sense that you can achieve anything. You have all these emotions that are driving and running through your body. And as you have this emotions flowing, all these emotions flowing, and you're doing something, repeating it over and over again, then all of a sudden you have emotional intelligence. Every single one of us have been in a situation where we've remembered something. We've remembered an event, like maybe 9/11. We know where we were when we heard about the terrible news. We know what we were doing. But if I asked you, do you remember what happened last week at this time exactly? Now, if you don't have a photographic memory, you probably don't, because you probably weren't emotionally involved. So that's where emotional intelligence comes into play. And that's the reason, if we know that our super memory and the events that happen in our life, we can remember instantly if we add emotions to it, that's when we can start to master something. And that's the third stage, when you have mastery intelligence, which is basically once you've got intellectual intelligence, you've repeated the events with emotion over and over again, and then finally you are doing it without even knowing it. Just like if you're driving a car, and you've been driving for years, you could be listening to the music, thinking about stuff that you're going to be doing soon at work or wherever you're going, to the gym, but you're not thinking about driving. And once you get to your destination, you think, who drove the car and how did I do that? It's because you've got mastery over something. Same thing is true if you're going to do a new hobby, if you're going to do martial arts, for instance. I've done martial arts. I remember going there, not watching Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan, all the famous people doing their martial arts, seeing them. I knew how to do. I could see that there's a front kick, roundhouse kick, side kick, jab, cross, duck, dive. That's intellectual intelligence. But when I actually got to the class and the instructor was asking me to do what I needed to do, then I was getting emotional intelligence. When I hit the pad, I was feeling the pad hit my fist over and over again. When I was kicking a board, breaking wood does not hit back, as Bruce Lee would say, but that was all practice. But emotional intelligence was involved, and then after repeating it over and over and over again, finally, I was a master at it. When I was sparring, I could see a twitch, punches, jabs, cross coming, and I would be doing them back. And that's how you become a master at something. Now, I'm not beating my own horn when I say I'm a master. I've got three black belts in different martial arts, so I can actually say that. However, there's areas of my life where I'm practicing now, where I'm not a master, and I'm just gaining emotional intelligence in events. But there's many things that all of us have mastered over and over again. If you've got children that are adults, you probably mastered parenting. But there's parents out there that's got babies and they're going through emotional intelligence. Whereas there's parents that have got babies in the tummy and they're going through intellectual intelligence. Anything and everything is true in life. When we're doing something new, we have to go through those processes. But what tends to happen is when we get intellectual intelligence, we hear it over and over again. We think we know it, we think we can do it, but when we actually do it, we can't. We find it tough. Then our inner dialogue starts talking, starts chattering. You can't do this. You're not worthy of it. You thought you knew it. You're useless. All that mind chatter. When the mind chatter starts, that's when people give up. But that's what we have to understand. We need to break through that mind chatter. We need to break through those plateaus. We need to break through that wall, because we're breaking through by using emotional intelligence. Once we repeat it over and over again, put ourselves in the circumstances over and over again, then we get emotional intelligence and we move over to mastery intelligence, where we mastered it and we know it and we can expand it to a point where we can teach others and know that what we're saying makes sense to us and to the other person 100%. So guys, we want to go through those stages: intellectual intelligence, emotional intelligence, mastery intelligence, to achieve anything and everything we want to achieve. So keep adding value to people's lives, keep spreading the love, and just remember, we are one idea away from changing the future. Take care.